fall is winding down and the garden is finishing up. There are a lot of plants that don't like the cold at all. As they go ahead and finish up, we're just cutting them off at the surface, leave those roots in. That's for the life in the soil. But then just cut and drop, and then we just come back and cover them with mulch. And we've also set up a couple coal frames. We've had quite a few questions about coal frames. What can I use to make a coal frame? I can't find bales. Don't trust the bales. Well, that's valid. I got these local, and I'm pretty confident they didn't spray with anything. I know the guy, and he's pretty cheap. He's not going to spray with anything. But if you go on Facebook Marketplace and some of the hay that's not very expensive, if you talk to those folks, yeah, they're baling their fields, but I guarantee you they didn't put any extra money into putting any herbicides down. You are going to have some weeds in there, but we get weeds in our hay also. But that's what I look for when I'm looking for a square bale if it's hay. Okay, you can get kiln drying sawdust in bales or round tube plastic bags. That works really good. You just stack them up. I like the straw because of the thermal mass. It makes a nice barrier. I've used the sawdust. It worked pretty good, but the edges don't seal up real good, so you have to put extra mulch up on them. Make sure you don't have any air leaking in when it's really, really cold. That's the key thing, is you want to let the ground temperature stay warm. It's the top, the plastic, you're going to have ice on it. But as long as those roots don't freeze, the plants usually make it through if they're cold weather type plants. Now you can take a big plastic bag, like a 50-gallon bag, even one of the smaller ones, fill it up with leaves. That has a lot of air in there, but you want it thick enough. The only problem with that is it's not really rigid, so when you put your top on, your plastic or your frame, you can kind of crush that down. We did that last year. We were pretty successful. We lost some stuff where the water got in there, you know, made a little swimming pool and crushed them. But that is one option. You can also just mound up wood chips around what you want to do, and that makes a nice little barrier, and it also makes it stiff enough you can put some kind of top on it. So those are some of my suggestions. I mean, you can just use 2x4s if you want, but they're not very thick. You're going to want some kind of insulating mulch on the outside. That'll work too. But this year we're going with straw bales. I'm also using this raised bed. There's nothing behind it, but I am going to put some more mulch behind it. But I've got the coldest weather crops there. I've got the cabbages. They seem to do really well here in northeastern Oklahoma. It does freeze pretty hard, but it doesn't usually last very long.